Kindergarten Dolphins. It is so good to see you today. Today we're going to begin with some reading. So let's talk about what we're going to do with our new friend Iggy today. Let's start with our objective. I'll start and you repeat. Objective is what we are going to learn. So our objective today says I can decode, that's a fancy word, words with letter I in the middle. We also have another objective that says I can encode for beginning sounds. So that means we have two things that we're going to be working on today. The first one, we're going to be decoding. That means that we're going to see some words written down and we're going to have to think, let me use my letter sound knowledge to sound out those words. And those words are going to have some specific middle sounds that we're going to think about today. They might have letter I in the middle. They might have letter O in the middle. They might have letter A in the middle. We're going to be looking at those middle sounds to help us figure out what those words say. Our next objective says that I can encode for beginning sounds. That means we're going to hear a word, we're going to hear it with our ears, and we're going to decide, what beginning sound do I hear at the beginning of that word? So that's the work we're going to be doing today in reading. Now for today's work, we will need our Iggy books, our pencils, and we're going to warm up with a little bit of whiteboard work, just doing some listening and writing down. So let's warm up our ears, warm up our hands, and begin our lesson. Okay, today we're going to start with writing some letter I sounds. Now we learned how to write letter I last week. Let's do a quick review. When we write letter I, easy peasy lemon squeezy, just a line down from the top, from the strawberry line to the chocolate line, and if you want, you can make that line across the top and the bottom. Lowercase, also super easy peasy lemon squeezy, line down from the vanilla line with that little circle dot above it. Remember, super small little dot above it. Doesn't have to be big. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to be saying some words. If you hear the letter I sound at the beginning of these words, I want you to write a letter I. If you do not hear it, we won't write a letter I. Got it? Let's get started. Your first word is scratch. Scratch. Do you hear the letter I sound at the beginning of scratch? I don't hear that sound. Let's listen to another word. What about itch? Itch. Do you hear the letter I sound at the beginning of itch? Yes, itch starts with letter I. So I'm going to write my uppercase and lowercase I to show that itch starts with letter I. Now that is how we encode. I heard the sound and I thought, that starts with letter I. I'm going to write my letter I to show that it begins with the letter I sound. Now here's a funny thing. Itch and scratch kind of mean the same thing. When you're feeling super itchy, scratchy, you might itch or scratch yourself. Those are two different words that kind of mean the same thing. How interesting. Let's do another one. What about our word sick? Sick. Do you hear the sound at the beginning of sick? Not really. S is not the same sound as our sound. What about the word ill? Ill. Ill. I hear the sound in ill, so I'm going to write my uppercase and my lowercase letter I to show that it begins with that letter I sound. Hey, and there again, those are two words, sick and ill, both mean kind of the same thing. It means that maybe you're not feeling very well. You're not really feeling super healthy. You might have like a cold or something. You're feeling sick. You're feeling ill. Two words that mean the same thing, but they're not the same word. What about itty bitty? Itty bitty. Do you hear the sound at the beginning of itty bitty? it too, so I'm going to write my letter I. Itty bitty. What about the word small? Small. Do you hear the sound at the beginning of that word? No. But that's another set of words that kind of mean the same thing. Small and itty bitty both mean when something is really tiny in size. It's not very big. Those were a lot of sets of words where there were two different words, but they both had the same meaning, the same definition. That was pretty cool. Another interesting thing is all those words. We heard small, and we heard sick, we heard scratch. They all started with the same letter. What letter did they start with? Scratch, small, sick. They started with letter S. So we can also write a letter S. All of those words started with letter S. That's pretty cool. Nice work. I think our ears are warmed up, and I think we're ready to start decoding and encoding. So let's go ahead and get our ICKY student books, and we're going to turn to page 6. Okay, let's get started. So we're on page 6 in our ICKY student book. Now remember, our objective for this part of our lesson is that we're going to be decoding. So we see some words written down here, and we have to use what we know about our letter sounds to figure out what these words say. Now I'm going to do page 6 with you, but I'm going to have you do page 7 all by yourself. So let's look at how we're going to start. Our job on this page is to read the words and figure out what is going on in the picture and which word matches it. All of these pictures show us an ad that ICKY sees on TV. So when you're watching a show on TV, sometimes we see an ad, or this happens when we're watching videos on YouTube too. And we see an ad and it's telling us about something that you could buy. Maybe it's for medicine, maybe it's for dog food, maybe it's for a gas station, maybe it's for something that you clean your dishes with. There's lots of things that we might see ads for. All of these pictures show us a different ad that ICKY saw on his TV. Now we want to read the words and figure out what's going on in that picture, which word matches. And we're going to use our decoding skills, our letter sound knowledge to help us read the words. So let's start together on page 6. I'm going to start over here on the left side. Now I'm going to begin with my reading finger and I'm going to go under the letters and make the letter sound as I read. I, ill, ill, ill. So I started with the letter sounds and I went nice and slow in turtle mode and I made each letter sound as I went under the letters. And I noticed that this word has 2 L's. Now am I going to say I, l? No, I'm just going to make that letter sound one time. And once I put all the sounds together, I realized that that word said ill. Ill. Like when someone's feeling ill, they're not feeling very good. Let's look at the next word. I see a blend at the beginning of this word, a letter S and a letter L. Sl. And then I see that letter I in the middle of the word. Remember, that was another one of our objectives. Looking at letter I sound in the middle, that I sound in the middle of our words. Sl, I, d. Sl, I, d. Slid. 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 So here's our 2 words on this page. Ill and slid. Which one do you think matches the picture? In this picture, does it look like it's showing us ill, somebody not feeling very well, or slid, like when you slide down something? I think it's showing us ill. I can see that the boy is in bed. Looks like his mom is giving him some medicine. Maybe this picture is an ad for medicine. The boy's not feeling very well. He's feeling ill. So I'm going to circle ill. Ill. So do you see what we did there? We read through the words, we figured out which one matched the picture, and then we circled that word. Let's do our next picture. Okay, here on this page, here in this picture, I see that both of these words have an O in the middle. So they're going to have that middle sound of ah, ah, ah. And I see that one of my words has a double letter at the end. Am I going to say that sound twice? No. So let's read through these words. Doll, doll, doll. So my first word is doll. Let's look at my second word. Dog, 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 dog. Now, which of those words matches our picture? Doll or dog? Dog! I bet that this was an ad for dog food. I can see that there's a dog in this picture. Great job sounding out our words. Let's go to the bottom line. All right. Okay, I can see that both of these words have an A in the middle. So they're going to have that ah, ah, ah sound right in the middle of the word. Okay, let's sound out the first word. Sag, sag. Our first word on this page is sag. Remember, that means that when something is sagging, it's deflating. There's no more air inside of it. Our next word starts with the letter G. Gas, gas, gas. Gas. Now, which of these words looks like it matches the picture? Sag or gas? I think so too. I think it's gas. It looks like maybe this might be an ad for Al's gas station. Nice work. So I'm going to circle my gas. Okay. All right, let's go to our last picture on this page. All right, on this page, I see that we have on this page, I see that both of my words are starting with a blend. Two letters that are coming together to make a sound. I see a ghoul blend and a cool blend. G and L, ghoul, and a C and L, cool. And I see a letter A in the middle, ah, and I see the S, double S sound at the end of both words. So let's blend our two words together and see what they say. Glass, glass, glass. So my first word is glass. Let's look at my second word. Class, class, class. So my first word was glass. My second word is class. Now, which one does it look like this picture is showing us? Glass or class? I see that this person in the picture is holding up a glass that they were cleaning. So I'm going to circle my word glass. I think that in this picture, it's showing us glass. Nice job. So I helped you with page 6. Now I want you to try out page 7 on your own. It might be tough, but I think that you guys can do it. So part of what you're going to have to do today for your homework is show me what you found on page 7. I'm going to have you take a video reading the words on page 7 and showing me which ones match the picture. So that's going to be the first part of your homework. The second part is going to be showing me the different pages that we're going to finish up with today. So let's turn your page. Together we're going to do page 8. And then for your homework, you'll also just show me this page. You just have to show it to the camera. So let's do this one together. On this page, we're going to be working on that other part of our objective, where we are encoding. This time, we're going to think about the pictures that we see, and we're going to decide, what is the beginning sound that we hear in this word? Then we're going to write the uppercase and lowercase of that letter on the line. So our first picture shows us an astronaut. Astronaut. What letter do we hear at the beginning of astronaut? Astronaut. That's right, it's letter A. This is the sign for letter A. So I'm going to write an uppercase and a lowercase letter A. Uppercase and lowercase letter A. It's super important that we practice uppercase and lowercase of our letters. Let's look at our next picture. Here I see some Swimmers. 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 What does swimmer start with? Swimmer. That's right, it's letter S. This is the sign for letter S. I'm going to write uppercase and lowercase letter S on the line. Nice work. Down here, I see a cowboy. Cowboy. What does cowboy begin with? Cowboy. Letter C, that's right. Cowboy. Here's my letter C. I'm going to write uppercase and lowercase letter C on the line. Cowboy. Very good. Let's look at our next picture. Here I see a lion. Lion. What does lion start with? Lion. That's right, letter L, lion. I'm going to do an uppercase and a lowercase letter L. Very good. Let's do our last line here. Here I see some dancers. They're doing some dancing. Dancer. What does dancer start with? Dancer. Very good. Letter D. Letter D, just like this. D. Dancer. I'm going to do uppercase and lowercase letter D. Very nice. And let's look at our last picture. Here I see an igloo. An igloo is like a little home made out of ice. Igloo. What does igloo begin with? Very good. Letter I. Igloo. So I'm going to do my uppercase and my lowercase letter I, just like we practiced at the beginning of class. Very good. That was really great encoding. We listened to the words and we thought, what does it begin with? Very good encoding. Let me show you the last part of your homework today. All right, so on this page, we're going to be thinking again about those middle sounds. Remember, one of our objectives today was to encode for those middle sounds. We're going to hear the words and think, what sound is in the middle? So I'm going to tell you what we have in these pictures, and then your job is going to be to cut out these letters at the bottom and glue them in the box next to each word. I'll do one to help you. The first picture is of a top. Top. What sound do you hear in the middle of top? Now the way to do this is we're going to sound out the whole word and figure out what sound is in the middle. So let's think about the word top. T, ah, p, t, ah, p. What sound did we say in the middle? T, ah, ah. We said the sound ah, ah, ah. Now, which of our letters shows us the sound ah? Is it A, O, or I? That's right, it's letter O. So what I would do is I would cut out one of my letter O's and I would glue it right in here. Now, I'm writing it because I'm showing you on the board, but if I had the paper in front of me, I would cut out my letter O and glue it in the middle. So you're going to go through each word here. Top, bag, lid, pig, log, and fan. And you're going to figure out what sound do you hear in the middle. So to turn in your homework for today, here's what I want you to do. I want you to take a video showing me these pages, pages 6 and 7, and I want you to read the words to me. It's really important that I can hear the beautiful reading, your decoding of your words, and show me which of the words that you circled to match your picture. Then you're just going to turn your page, show me your page 8, and then get out your practice pages and show me practice page 48, just with your answers done. All right, so you'll read me pages 6 and 7, show me page 8, and then show me practice page 48. Good luck today. I can't wait to hear your beautiful reading. I am so impressed with all the great work you all are doing, and I'll see you later. Bye!